it was winter, and he was outside. I believe it was either a family member or a school chum or something, and they told him to lick a pole. He licked the pole, but
Fatherhood.19, no tutorial books. You learn at the present.
My aunt, I'll never forget, she shared this story with me, man, that, you know, she said when I was a kid, I used to have to walk and clean cans of peaches together to walk down the, walk down the road to school. And I was like, that's kind of weird. What you mean? You slamming peaches. I'm like, what's going on here? Well, she said, well, son, what you wanted to do was make a noise loud enough so that if anyone tried to assault you, they knew you had a weapon. That's what it was like going to school for her. So when I heard that story, and I go through the Crips and the Blood. Now, I grew up in a Crip neighborhood, but then I have to go to a Blood bus stop. I'm thinking in my mind, if my aunt at a young age can have that strength to, I know she's experiencing fear, but knowing like, I'm not going to allow that fear to overcome me because I got to get this knowledge. That is the same thing that pushed me to be able to walk through those neighborhoods. And what I like about what you have in your book is, man, you had a rich, like, I want to say playlist of fatherhood from when you talk about, your great grandfather Sharpie, and when you talk about your Uncle C, and you talk about these males that were in this role. Now, so my question for you, is it like just point out any like story that your grandfather or your great grandfather told that may be a lesson for the Brooklynites to, to get some jewels from what it was like in that era. It could be any story if you wouldn't mind sharing with us.
Nah, of course, brother, of course. And just the fact that you allowed me the space to do so. He shared a lot of stories with me about men learning their character and self-awareness. He shared a lot of stories. But one story that always stick out to me, because this show you the kind of different arrays of my great-grandfather. His humor, his intelligence, his serious. He was very respected in my in the neighborhood my family grew up in. But he always told me the story. He shared the stories with me about how he walked to school. Their book bags was like little belts and all that. I thought that was movies, you know what I mean? But he made that a real thing for me, like telling me it was winter and how they used to walk this far. In one particular story, he told me, which I took not to be stupid, it was winter. And he was outside, I believe it was either a family member or a school chum or something. And they told him to lick a pole. He licked the pole, but his tongue hugged the pole. Why he licked like it was so cold. He said his tongue got stuck to the pole. And as far as small and funny as that was, I just took like, yo, I'm not just gonna do anything somebody tell me to do. It was little stuff like that, but we laughed for a while because he told me it took some time for him to get his tongue off the pole, but that was one of the stories he took. And just in the moments, it was little stuff like that where he thought it was little, but to me, that was big in my world. So although we was laughing, in the back of my mind, it was like, yo, don't just listen to what anybody say, because you're going to fuck around and get your tongue stuck to the pole.
Lesson learned, man.
Gave me, like we get BS machismo from society, right? Like
Yes.
especially I'm black man. But a lion roar don't really mean he a lion. It's more that comes with that. And being able to sit with my great grandfather and my grandfather, as well as my father, on both sides. I don't like to refer to my stepfather and my father, getting the richness from both sides again led to the guidance. So what I didn't get from my father at that opportune time, it was the people who shaped his life that said, oh, no. He's not going to be lost in the mix. His dad might be here, but here, let me put you under here and give you what we supposed to give you. This is our job, brothers. If, for any other brothers that's listening, the Uncle Junior, because I got Uncle Junior too. Out here, the Uncle Tito's. Listen, even if you don't have a child, your presence as a man contributes to the men in your joint. And that's what my great-grandfather did. He knew his position in what those stories was going to do for me. It helped shape me as a man. My grandfather, him telling me stories. Man, you don't know, man, you know what's in your blood. So to hear that from what you emerge from, as a man, it helps create your value. And a lot of us miss out on that. So therefore, it's like you go to the pawn shop. We go out here in the world, you misvalue. And then you lost in your misvalue. So now they slightly telling you a nigga and you lesser, you adhere to that. But I couldn't adhere to that because I was told from my great-grandfather where my bloodline and where I emerged from. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm fortunate. I swear I'm fortunate because I give that to my sons now. You know what I mean? I give that to my nephews and my little homies in the hood. But anybody, the little dude I see, his mom ain't around. Whoever I could offer that to, man. That's what that richness and that experience gives me and position me to do, man.
Let me get into some fun stuff, man. So I know you representing BK all day. And
all day, all year, all galaxies better him.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to get some borough beef going on here. What makes Brooklyn better than any other borough in New York? Because I got some people from Harlem, I got people from Staten Island, I got people from Queens, all over the place. But tell the viewers, what makes Brooklyn stand out better than any New York borough?
It's a long list. Nah, let me